Welcome back for another episode. Today's topic is budget. So, if you remember what I said on the wealth vocabulary, you want to budget instead of spend. And here's why. When you spend, usually you look at the things that you would like and you figure out, is it a good deal? Is it a good price? Is it time to jump or just wait? But when you spend, sometimes you're not taking into consideration, is it something that you really want? Have you seen it before? Kind of kept walking in circles, come back to it. It keeps coming up again and again, and you finally decide, hey, now's the time to take the plunge. But what budgeting does is budgeting different from spending is budgeting. You have a plan for what you choose to go after. When you spend, you might just walk in the store, see something you like, decide to make that decision then and there, and that's it. And then you get home and you realize, you scratch your head, did I really need a thing that I just bought? But budgeting is different. Budgeting, you create a plan. So you already have an idea of exactly what you want. You know what your goals are. And so when you have that in place, you know exactly what you're willing to do, exactly how much you have, and exactly what you need to put in place in order to make it happen. And you do that in a way that doesn't break the bank. And when you play Monopoly, you definitely don't want to break the bank. You don't want to buy everything under the sun. Because if you're out of money and all of a sudden you land on a property and the rent's due and you don't have enough to pay, you got to start selling stuff, right? So some key things to recognize and remember about having a budget. The first thing is a budget doesn't mean you're restricted. You can have anything that you want if you know how to pay for it. Anything that you want. So don't think a budget is going to be something that restricts you from getting the things that you would like to have, but you just need a plan in order to put that in place. Next, you want to prioritize what you want so that you are not distracted by everything that you want. And that's a big one because it's very easy to find something and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that looks really cool. I'd love to have that. And then you kind of see that feeling go away maybe once you actually acquire it. Maybe it wasn't really something that was on your list as far as what you really wanted, but you kind of made the impulse decision. But you want to make sure you prioritize. So when you prioritize, you go through your list, you have that running list. Hey, if it's something that you like, add it to the list. But after you come back to it a couple times, if it's not really something that really resonates with you, you cross it out, you remove it. And that way you stay focused on what you really want. From there, you need to be honest with yourself. So if you don't have the finances to pay for something, just recognize it, right? Maybe you don't know how to pay for it yet, but the biggest thing is yet. Because again, remember, you can have anything that you want if you know how to pay for it. So even if you don't have the money to pay for something, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't have it. But you have to figure out what you would need to do in order to make it happen. All right. From there, you need to have a willingness to give. The biggest thing with having a budget is you're going to have income coming in, you're going to have expenses going out. But you need to be able to be open and willing to actually give. You don't just kind of want to be miserly and keep everything with you. Because if you keep everything with you, everything that comes in stays in and it doesn't go out. And if anybody knows how wealth is created, it's the flow of money. So you got to be willing to put it out into the world so it actually comes back to you. Next, we have awareness of what you had. That is critically important. Most people don't know what they have. And that's a big problem because when they actually want something and decide to pull the trigger, then it's a matter of, well, how are we actually going to pay for it after they've already made the decision? You don't want to be in that boat. So you want to have an awareness of what you have. Now, this actually goes back to financial statements. If you don't have one already, definitely put one in place. Know what's coming in, know what's going out. Because that's all part of having a budget. Have awareness of what you actually have. And then last but not least, you're the one in control. You're in control of your budget. You're in control of your money. Don't think that anyone else is in control of that but you. So whatever decisions are made, it's really up to you. It's not up to anybody else. So if decisions are being made that don't resonate with what your goals and what your plan is, you need to change that. All right? So remember, budget Don't spend, budget. Make a plan. I'll catch you on the next episode. Till then.